Ultraman Omega episodes 1 and 2. They had their premieres. You know, is it premiering? Is it Thursday nights or Friday nights?
Friday nights at 8:30.
Friday nights at 8:30. Yeah, very excited going into the series.
Eastern time, New York.
Yes, very excited going into the series. There wasn't too much information, like especially because there's no English dub. You got like little hints here and there, a lot of leaks, but yeah, we really just had the trailer to go off of, and we start off kind of with what we saw in the trailer, and that was this amazingly done CG sequence that kind of showed how Omega got to planet Earth.
Yeah, that was really cool. So that opening sequence was done by Shirogumi Animation. It's the same studio that was behind the -1 special effects, and as well as that Godzilla Day Gigan Rex short from a couple of years ago, 2 years ago, 3 years ago now. So the animation was great. I was like, oh man, this is like, if they made like a CG animated Ultraman show, like, this would be...
It looked amazing.
Incredible.
It really did.
Like, I was like, this was so good. I'm like, I could watch a whole show like this. I mean...
Yeah, I wonder what, like, the budget was for that, like, 3 minutes of stuff.
Yeah, it was really, really good. And it's fighting these insects things in, like, this, like... It looks almost like a spear. Like, it looks almost like a... I don't know, it's got, like, a... It's like a planet almost with, like, hexagonals, but it's, like, hollow. It's like an incomplete Death Star it's fighting inside. They call these... They're Bug Sect. Their first appearance, their new kaiju... it's just like a swarm of them. It's fighting them in the nets, and then this like big one comes along, and he's like, "Oh man!" And he like blows up like the Death Star's core here, and it like explodes, and he's like, "I'm gonna get out of here." But as he's flying out, I think the big one like shoots him, clips him with a beam, and then like kind of like screen goes black, and we find out that fight was like on the dark side of the moon, so it's like not like he's like traveled like from galaxies away after this fight and got to Earth. Like, he was like kind of like right above it. So that was happening right above Earth. I'm not sure how he knew that was there or where he came from, but he was there. And that's when it opens up to our Earth shots, and it starts off with like an earthquake at a construction site, and then we see our other human character introduced. He's on his morning run. It's Kosei, and he's jogging. He stops to have a drink, and he's looking up at the sky, and he sees something that looks like a meteor, but then he looks and he's like, it kind of looks like a guy. He's like, is it an alien? And he's like, nah.
Yeah. One thing to note is that this is a planet kind of similar to Blazar ish, and similar ish to Arc, where they haven't had an Ultraman yet. So this is another separate universe story. But
not
what's different.
Yeah, you can. Yeah, you can say that too. Go ahead.
I'm saying what's different is that they also haven't had kaiju's or alien invaders yet either.
Yes.
So this is a completely peaceful Earth.
Yes.
Kind of like ours, sort of.
Kaiju free, alien free. So all this is going to be super new to all the people of Earth here. So Kosei gets back to his apartment, and he's cooking up a meal, and the radio's kind of playing in the background, and they're talking about that meteor that he said, and they're like, oh, there's a lot of reports saying that it looked like a man. And we do see after it does fall to Earth that it was a man, and he kind of wakes up in the forest like Terminator naked, and then he goes black. So Kosei's back at his apartment. It's in a warehouse, cooking up a meal, and he kind of turns around and his food's gone, and then he hears a noise, and he goes and looks for it. He takes a broom to defend himself with, and he finds this mysterious man in the garage, the man that we saw fall from the sky naked, now has clothes. And he's eating Kosei's food. He's like, hey, that's my food. And he's like, oh, well, it's delicious.
Yeah.
And then they get into like this whole thing, and it's almost like he's like Yoda going through his apartment, you know, like when Luke's got his like stuff and he's going through Luke's stuff and just throwing it all over the place. He's like, what's this? Oh, whatever, throw it. It was like pretty much like gave that vibe. And he has no clue what anything is. He's clearly an alien. And Koisei's like, I'm gonna call the police. Like he like kind of chases him outside, and he's like, what? The police? And he's like, you don't know what the police are? And then he kind of like sniffs the air and takes off running. Oh, one of the things before he takes off running, which I thought was hysterical too. Prior to one of the last things that the stranger picks up in the apartment are presumably Ultraman Omega, was a trophy. And he goes, what is this? And Kosei's like, I'm really proud of this. This is my 3rd place track and field trophy. Like not first, not second, it was 3rd. And he was like, oh, I don't know what that means. So yeah, he's like, he kind of like sniffs the air and he's like, oh, I said something. And he takes off running, and Kosei's like, hey, come back here. And he had his his phone, because he said he was going to call the police. And Kosei chases him, but he can't keep up, which is clearly why he got 3rd place.
Yes. I mean,
and it's funny because
Omega does have superhuman abilities.
And he was also running at the beginning, so he's still training, but he's not. Yeah. He's not gold medal eligible yet.
Yeah. But yeah, pretty funny dynamic between these two. So he's running, and you know, as they're running, you know, there's a kaiju that appears. Am I getting this right? Yeah, Graham. And so he's like, oh, I think I can fly, but then he just like throws Kosei.
Graham is about to like step on him, and the screen goes black, and then it like opens up to like
you don't get to
almost
see
like
actually what happened.
Thing. Yeah,
and he's just like in the air, like, what is happening?
And he kind of like blacks out too, because I think he was like about to like die, so he kind of like blacked out in fear. Then he woke up falling from the sky, like he was like thrown out of an airplane, and then he kind of blacks out again, and then
because he's falling.
And then he wakes up, and then Serato's like, oh hey, like
like it's completely normal. He doesn't think anything's weird. He Serato or Omega, whatever you want to refer to him, because he hasn't got the Serato
name yet. So that's why I'm referring him to kind of the stranger for this episode, even though we know he's Omega.
Yeah, so he, you know, they get back. They're kind of like in like recovery. Kaiju's disappeared, and like Kosei's like trying to talk with other people.
People are arguing, and this little girl's crying, and they're like, "Hey, don't you see you're yelling and scaring this girl?" And one of like the officers or whatever is like, "What's your problem?" Like, is like gonna like fight him, and then Serato goes over and like kind of puts his hand on top of his head and is like, "Hey, chill out, man." And then he like diffuses the situation extremely quick, and like, we gotta find this girl's mom. And then boom, the kaiju appears again, and everyone takes off running. This girl's crying, but one of the things is that Kosei was like, listen, we don't leave anybody behind, we gotta help this girl. So he takes off running.
Ohanami's family.
Yes, exactly. So they find the girl's mom in the alley. She's like got her hurt leg, and this kaiju's there. And
she's like, go on without me.
Yes, and they're like, oh, we're not leaving her behind. And Kosei's like, what are you doing? So Serato's like, we don't leave anyone behind, right? So they go. He's like, you take care of her, I'll take care of the monster. He transforms right in front of him.
He goes, I think I can grow.
Yeah, he goes, I think I can go big. And then he becomes Ultraman Omega. And really epic. They begin fighting. Kosei's like, what the hell's going on? And he did throw him in the sky again. That's kind of when he did the whole reveal. He's like, oh, I got powers. But yeah, he fights the kaiju. He uses his slugger to defeat the kaiju, cuts off its horn, and then slices its guts up and the body falls. And then after the fight, Kosei is like, "Who are you?" And he's like, "My name is Omega." And then the screen goes black. And then our next episode goes like right into that, or picks up right after that.
Yeah. So it's a bit of a cool thing, like like the Omega, but he also introduces the word kaiju.
Yes.
And because they're like, what are you talking about
the word kaiju? Yeah. And one of the things that he does do is he kind of like breaks down like the kaiju's abilities when it rises. He's like, oh, it's Graham. It's got the ability to fire heat from its horn. It digs and all that. So that's interesting. He's like, how do you know this? Like, but he's like remembering these bits and pieces. I was like, oh, I think I remember this one now. And I was like, oh, that's right. The kaiju are starting to awaken. So that's kind of a clue. So he's coming to stop this awakening. What's waking them up? We were looking at a big villain here. Really cool design, this frame. It's with a big drill horn, a digging ability, the club tail. First appearance for this kaiju. So 2 new kaiju this episode. We got Vugsect and Graham. The Vugsect is actually like a modified Zuzugan. I don't know if you remember that one from Blazar. That was the ones with what's his name? I'm drawing a blank here. When they go to the farm, when they try to arrange when they get married.
Oh yes,
was
yes,
it Yasunobu?
Yes.
Yeah.
No.
Teriyaki. Yeah, it was. They were from that episode. Really cool. One of my favorite scenes was from the old Blazar series. Was when they're in the mountain and the Earth Garon burst through. Such a cool scene. That's some of the coolest shots in that episode. But it's cool to see that was a repurposed kaiju there. And then in this next episode, we get another repurposed kaiju, Levi Jiras. That was from Arc. I preferred the Levi Jiras look to this kaiju versus this Dugrid look. But this fight was much better as the Levi Jiras was underwater and the scene was all dark green and you couldn't really see anything going on. And
Arc had some lighting
You really
issues
did not get to see what the hell
production.
that kaiju looked like. But from like the photos online of the suit, it looks really cool. But you didn't get to see it like that in the show, which is a shame. So on here, the Dugrid design is cool, but I do prefer the Levi Jiras. So I guess we'll dive into that here on this. Episode opens up. There's the Graham body is just laying there in the city. There's like a female scientist looking at it. And she's like, what is this thing? And kind of taking notes on it. And then we cut to like a farm and like all these plants are like decayed and slimy and rotting. And the guy's like, what is this? And then all of a sudden we hear a roar. And to Dugrid, it's a big like amphibian kind of looking kaiju. Very, like I said, very similar body to Levi Jiras. Big like bulbous head, large mouth, sharper teeth, I believe. And like these like vents on its back. Red belly. Pretty cool. You can see his eyes. And then it cuts back to the final moments of the last episode. Serato saying, my name's Omega. And then he passes out. And he's like, I'm really hungry right now. I'm so hungry. Like, he's starving. And then Kosei takes him back to his apartment. And he's just been cooking up food. And pretty much he's going through a cookbook. And he's like, can you cook me this? Can you cook me that? And he's just eating like an animal. He's like non-stop shoving his face. So becoming Omega makes him hungry, drains him. So
I guess because he really doesn't have a host, at least not that we know of. We're assuming that the Serato body is something that he's morphing into, and it's not like he landed on somebody and took it. Because he was coming down with the human body. So, we have had Ultras without host before.
Yeah, Damoroboshi, which is 7, and then Leo, which was Gen, who is 7's protege.
Yeah, and Mabius also
Yes.
no host. But interesting take on like the whole. I feel like it might be a little more realistic. Like, hey, like you are transforming, you need to fuel that somehow.
Yes.
Especially if you're using those powers in your human form. That's going to be expelling a lot of energy, which is I think they touch on in this episode. But we do have the same radio host from the previous episode in this one. I'm thinking that they're going to be kind of like their version of the viewing globe or like their news update, the phone in the skip office.
I think
like,
this is.
that's going to be kind of where they're getting their
I
news
bet
from.
you this is gonna. The radio hosts are gonna be the recap episodes too.
Yeah, well, the radio hosts also do the
Intro, yeah.
Next week on Omega.
Yeah.
Like they do that as well. So I think it's a cool idea.
I feel like they might be like the recap episode. I don't know. That's my speculation there for me.
I wouldn't be surprised. I mean, in the universe, it makes sense.
Yeah, it would be really cool if they did it, something like that, like a podcast like episode.
It'd be cool if they did an episode where they have to like save the radio host, like the radio station's getting attacked by like kaiju or something, and you actually get to see them like live casting.
Yeah,
that would be cool.
Yeah. Yeah, so they're cooking up a meal, and then they get a report of a kaiju, and then Omega's like, I want to go there, and he's like, well, I don't think you're gonna be allowed to go there. They're clearly gonna rope it off. You can't just go there. So they go there, and the police are like, no, you get the hell out of here. You're not allowed in. And Kosei's like, but see, you gotta listen to the police. That's the police. I told you can't go there. He's like, all right. So then he grabs Kosei, just jumps over the security guys and officers while they're not looking, jumps across the bridge, lands in the forest, and then Dugrid appears, and he's like, transform. He's like, no. He's like, I'm going to be hungry. I can't waste my energy. I only got to do it for emergency. He's like, this isn't an emergency. And then the armed forces kind of like attack it, right? Like jets come by, kind of draw it away. Yeah. And then he's like, oh, I'm really hungry now from doing that jump. He's like, that jumping really shouldn't have took it out of me. He's like, I'm really hungry now. It's like, really? And that's when we enter what's going to be our third recurring character, Ayumo. The female scientist we saw from the beginning of the episode. She's like, what are you guys doing here? And he's like, oh, well, he's a special researcher. And they're like, why is he so hungry? She's like, here, you can have my lunch. So this is the lunch thing's a great thing too. So Kosei in his Gordon Ramsay-ness, he's like just picking at each piece of food. He's like, this is just bitter. It doesn't taste like anything. Then he eats something else. Like, oh, this tastes like nothing. He's like, what is this? And then she's like, do you have a problem with my lunch? And he's like, and Kose's like, no. He's good. He's like, dude, shut up and just eat the food. Like she got like really feisty with him, like real quick.
She's like, you're eating my lunch. Yeah. Like you could at least be a little grateful. So she's like, what's your name anyway? And that's when we get the Serato name.
Yeah, he's about to say Omega, but then he says Serato.
Yeah.
Well, Kosei says Serato. Oh.
Yes.
And she's like, all right, and then they start talking about Dugrid, and she's like, well, what did it look like? And they're like, was it like a reptile? Was it a fish? They're like, oh, it looks sort of amphibian, kind of. And she's like, all right. She's like, well, maybe it's from like a river. And then Kosei begins like talking about the poisonous gas, and he's like, oh, it's Dugrid, and it's used poisonous gas, it does this and that. And she's like, how did you know about that? Like, they're like, we haven't made any of that information public. And then Koichi's like, oh, he's a genius. He's like specializes in this. He knows. And he says the word kaiju, and she's like, kaiju. Like once again, another person doesn't know what that means. And she's like, how come I've never heard of you? And he's like, oh, he works alone. He just got back, so he's a little weird. He doesn't know proper etiquette or whatever. And then they kind of like pull out a map. They're like, well, if it's a water kaiju, there used to be a river that ran through here. It was really deep in prehistoric times, but it's since changed and it's become shallow. Like, we got to find the next largest body of water. That's what it's going to head for. And they're like, well, we got to get to that dam. And she's like, well, we got to go there in person to evacuate them, because if we call them, they're not going to evacuate. So they go there, and they don't want to evacuate. And then the guy goes, when we get a phone call, we'll evacuate. After she said, if we call them, they won't evacuate. But then Dugrid appears. Everyone begins running. and Serrano goes to just transform, and Kosi runs over, like grabs her, and is like, no. He's like, no alien stuff in front of people, or else I'm never gonna cook for you again. He's like, oh, that's not good. And then he kind of takes off running. She's like, where's he going? He's like, he's just really weird. He's gotta get a closer look. And then he transforms and battles the Dugrid. And this time he tries to use the slugger. Doesn't work because it ends up spewing poison all over the forest, killing plants. He's like, oh, clearly we gotta avoid that. It's gonna cause too much damage. So then he remembers how to use his beam, the reticulate beam, and shoots Dugrid in the mouth, blows it up. Pretty much the same way Levi Jiris got killed. So the two same suited monsters got killed the same way. And it blows up, no body left, no poisonous gas left. And the episode kind of ends there. And one thing that we kind of did miss from this, I think it was the first episode, Serrato kept saying to Koisi that he's a good person, like a good-hearted person.
You is good.
You is good. He's like, no, I am good. like so that's gonna be something, I'm sure. Like, he's gonna like be like, all right, you're a helpful person. You can help me, and that's what it looks like. Next week's episode 3 is gonna introduce the first companion kaiju, and it looks like from the pictures and all the promo stuff we've seen, we see like Koisei holding, like, it looks like a mini figure of the kaiju. So maybe he's going to control the kaiju. Maybe he's going to turn it into the kaiju somehow.
Yeah, we don't quite know how that's working yet.
One of the theories in the chat that we have going with a couple of buddies is they believe that Koisei is going to eventually become the physical body host for Omega. But I don't know. I think he might just be like the host for like the buddy kaiju, you know. And the other chick, Ayumu, she might just control the other like robot-looking kaiju thing, which makes sense since she's more science-y. So robot, science-y person, you know.
Yeah, I don't know how it's gonna work.
But although she specializes in biology, she wants to take care of extinct animals, help endangered animals, and they put her on kaiju instead.
Yeah, I wonder how long it's gonna be before she finds out that Serrato is Omega.
He's really,
or you know,
he's like such like a like, you know, like Mork and Mindy, like clearly like does not know anything about humanity behavior. Like she's a smart person. She's a scientist. They can't play this stupid game forever. Like, oh yeah, he's just eccentric and weird. Like, how can the guy be a genius? Like, if he doesn't know what certain things are, police are. Like, she's gonna catch on really soon. She's gonna be like, well, how the hell do you not know this? This isn't a cultural disconnect here.
Yeah. Yeah. No, it's gonna be interesting to see because you know, it's always been one of my gripes for a while. Like for Blazar, it made sense that they didn't know he was Blazar. Yeah. For Arc, debatably, didn't really make sense, and then in the end, they ended up finding out anyway.
And they even kind of figured it. I like so far. I like the non-secret identity thing.
Yeah, I do too. I feel like it takes out some of the redundant plot points from other series, and I think this whole amnesia thing is a cool way to approach it.
Yeah, no, definitely. And I think as he goes on, he's gonna learn. He's got a larger arsenal of abilities, weapons. So it should be a really cool series right off the bat. I mean, from all the series that I've seen, I think that episode 1 was one of the best, if not the best, episode 1 of an Ultraman series.
Yeah, it was pretty good, pretty action packed. There's been a couple, you know, I'm not going to claim to be like the most knowledgeable Ultraman fan in the world. I'm definitely not, but I did like the Mebius opening. That has a much larger cast than this show. He has like 5 companions or something like that. and they all get a little moment in that episode, and there's a bunch of action. Same with Blazar. That opening episode for Blazar, where it's just Gento on a night mission.
That was a really great
and
episode.
Kind of discovers the Blazar power that he had. The Blazar powers was really cool, and then the whole mystery with Emmy at the end of the episode, really cool, really suspenseful. So they have been other really good ones, as well.
Yeah. Blazar was definitely probably one of my top ones as well.
Yeah, especially since it was at night,
say
the whole episode.
Blazar Return of Ultraman is probably one of my favorite openings. The entire first however many episodes of Return of Ultraman is just so good. Return of Ultraman is just solid, straight through. Honestly, in my opinion, it's one of the most consistent of the Ultraman series that I've seen so far.
Yeah. But I guess that about wraps up our our episode.
Definitely
here.
Looking forward to covering this series more on the channel, and we got a lot of things planned, a lot of things in the pipe for the channel, guys. So be on the lookout, and thank you for watching and joining us. Kaisei era stuff is going to be coming to the channel really soon.